Tirtha Bhagavat Padacharyobhyo Namo Namaha Narayana Paripurna Gunarnavaya Visvodaya Sthittolaya Nidhi Prataya Jnana Prataya Vibhuda Surasaukya Dukkha Satkaranaya Vidadaya Namo Namaste Yo Vipalimba Viparita Madiprabodhan Vadan Nirasya Kritavan Bhuvitattvavatam Sarvesvaro Haririti Pratipatakam Tam Anandatirtha Munimam Namami Ujjaya Rahavendraya Satyadharmarataya Cha Pajatam Kalpavrakshaya Namatam Kamadenive Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadidamastu Ma Vishvidavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome friends once again to our journey of Kathopanishad, as we have embarked upon the last portion of the third Valli of the first chapter of Kathopanishad. We are coming to a glorious end to where the exact development of the Upanishad comes to a pinnacle. It has come to a plateau where it will tell us, because what are all the final lessons or final advice that we are going to get out of that, and what is the benefit of that, because both of them will be told to us. But what if, because if we don't listen to, or even if we don't get it, that will also be available. But then coming to the last portion of the third Valli, it gives you some sort of a pinnacle of the purpose which we will have to have in our life, as well as to proceed with whatever we are doing in our respective spectrum of life, as we have embarked upon our own journey. As far as we are concerned, we have been given, because all the inputs to us and how to gloriously have the creative energy, create the creative energy, as well as maintain the creative energy and be aware of, because not to dissipate that energy and fully use it by focusing on whatever you are doing. Because as we have been telling, and we have seen, because two great mantras of the last two mantras which we have seen, Uttishtata Jagrata Prapya Varam Nibodhata Shurasya Dara Nishitaha Duratyaya Durgam Payastat Kavayo Vadanti, because arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. Is it not money? Never you should give it up. You should just hold on to what you are up to. There is no time for you to, no way you can claim, you can rather dissipate your energy and fall back onto your own ways of doing nothing, because and seeing, whatever happens in the world will take you to wherever you want to, will just not happen. Because you have come into this world, you will be a man of action. When you have to be a man of action, you will have to do action. Not doing an action is not an option at all. It's a Hobson's choice. Once you have come, you will have to do. And assuming having come there, I will not be able to do because I will not be able to face the consequences also. That is also not an option. In the sense, because even if you don't do, it is an action. It is an inaction. Inaction is an action. In the inaction, what happens is it's not only takes away the initiative what you have had, it dissipates all the energy that you have accumulated all through, putting you into a sort of a great source of anxiety, and you feel that you are getting bored whatever you are having, and certainly you will be propelled to do something with purpose or without purpose. Good. So in the process of our own way to see, what is the purpose for which, we have living in this world and what we are going to do about it, that we fritter ourselves into quite a bit of an activity that has come about us, because as we go along, because we have gone by the way wherever it has taken, rather than applying ourselves to what we want to do. Because what we want to do comes only when we are able to give a focus to ourselves. Three things are required when we want to have a purpose in our life: is the clear-cut focus, and we want to have the focus, and it should also be giving rise to the right reason for that. We will not be aimlessly be going about having the focus. The focus should be, it should be a sort of a purpose for which, for our own growth as well as for our well-being, both psychological, physical as well as emotional. All the well-beings are very important. In that process, what happens is we have created quite a bit of entanglement ourselves into the things, and finally, when everywhere we get obstacles, or when you're getting blocks, we just trying to find a way out of that. That is in our own creation. This anyway don't come with the creative energy which God has given to us. The God has given to the creative energy to enable us to do what we are capable of doing within our means and capacity, as well as to skill ourselves to the required level and to get the right knowledge. He has given all the opportunities and possibilities with us, but we are not able to get these opportunities properly utilized. That is why this entanglement takes place. We have made a mess of our own life, because as we have gone about. It is not that, because there's no particular way, to say, because how we should be able to come out of this mess. The only way you can come out of the mess is constant reflection as to what happens and what we have done. Is it that, because what we want to do? First, we should have a clarity, because the clarity comes only with the focus, and with the focus and the right approach, the right mindset. And once you have the right mindset, that is a meditative mindset. And when you are able to hear, when you are able to reflect, and when you are able to assimilate into your being, then you will be able to get the right reason for that. So once you are able to get the right reason for that, your goal setting will be more purposive. Otherwise, your goal will be sometimes, could be sort of not the right goal for you, because it may be a right goal for someone else. Because if you're trying to adopt the goal of someone else, you have to equip yourself by the same person with the same set of skill and all. But we will have to go by what we are capable of, what is our nature, what is our attitude, what is, we will have to do our SWOT analysis, what is our strengths, what is our weaknesses, what are all the opportunities available to us, and what are all the threats we are facing on day-to-day basis. Because when we are not able to go about on the same line of action, what we are planning to do, certainly there is something, because amiss. To avoid that only, because the Upanishad has given us a way to get over, and then they have given us, because how to be doing that, the constant, and how to get the right focus and right purpose, as well as the right, the physical, emotional, as well as psychological coherence to proceed with whatever we want to do. This is a sort of yoga that has been given to us by the Upanishad. This yoga is nowhere, coming in conflict with any other yoga or any other means or any other religion. It is every human being is capable of doing it. Whoever has achieved the great purpose of the life, by getting into the best of their ability to bring out, because any innovation or any product or any service or any other, because they've created an organization, by they've lived themselves, for others, or they themselves have lived a glorious life, setting an example for everyone to be a role model. All these things happen only when you are able to reflect and set a purpose, and based on the purpose, when you are having a goal and work for that. When you are working for that, don't bother about the what if it, because if it doesn't happen, what happens, if I am not able to do, you should not have it, because that is where the goal setting is very important, with the right attitude and the right mind. Because then, you will be able to get the right, you will be able to get the right approach. You will be able to do everything, you will be able to correct your course. You will be able to learn from your experience and bring that experience, to back into what you are doing. So with this only, we have embarked upon the last mantra we have seen last week, the creative energy, what we have seen, Ashabdam, Asparsham, Arupam, Avyayam, Tata Arasam, Nityam, Agandachayat, Anadi Ananta Mahataha Paraham Dhruvam, Nichayatanam Nrityamukat Pramuchate. Because in the sense that this, what this says is, it is always soundless. It is beyond the sound, touch, feel, and form, as well as, because it's not comprehensible, with the sense objects. It is beyond the comprehension. It is beyond the half comprehension in the sense, because we live, it is so subtle. It is not something unattainable. It is a subtle thing. The subtle, anything that is subtle can be understood only by the subtle mind, not the physical mind. The subtle mind or subtle approach, that is what it has been given. This subtle mind and the subtle approach has been enshrined all through. In this only we have seen two examples, how when there is a possibility or how when there is not a possibility, our mind, because when we think, try to work on the possibilities and impossibilities, having set the goal, that takes away from the course. When we feel, because how it is possible, when I am having all these sort of deficiencies, when I am not having, all these resources, how am I able to do? If you are trying to be bogged down, by the possibilities of not happening, then you will be manifesting the same, which is not going to take place. It's not that it's not for you to do it. Once you have set the goal with the right purpose, you will have to go about it. Ashabdam, asparsham, arupam, avyayam, tata arasam, nityam, agantajavat, anadi ananta mahataha param dhruvam. Because once you said, because the soul is immortal and it is always there. It has got the various possibilities. You have been brought, with the possibilities which you can attain. So once you are having that immortality, you should be able to go through the process and finally set yourself into that. And when you are getting that into account, so you will have to constantly work on three things. That is, once you have said, you should never waver from what you are doing. So if you are trying to get off the mark, you will not be able to achieve anything. Therefore, how to constantly pursue what I have taken? What I have, how am I able to get into this path without any, come what may, I should be able to withstand all the obstacles, because this is what every one of us facing, because every time when it comes, we consider it to be an obstacle, but every obstacle has got an opportunity behind that, because that we don't see. And most of the time the obstacles comes because we might not have thought about what we might not have made the right approach, or we might not have taken the right course of action, we might not have done. Then once you have understood, you can always make a course correction and go about it. But once the goal setting is done, you steadfastly hold on and believe in yourself, have that unflinching faith that I should be able to do it, and everything whatever, because I should be able to do it, will be available as I go about. Once you proceed with this, the things will automatically happen. Because once you put, once you feel, because that I have done so much, because nothing is happening. Once you are having the doership, you are taking yourself to be the doer, you will be getting bogged down into the issues, because you are not the doer. Finally you are getting all the energy, all the wherewithal, all the ideas from the universe ipso facto, whether you want to call it the divine power or the divine grace. You are getting out of that when you are believing in that, and when you are steadfastly putting everything, in your hand into that, you should be able to get across and finally achieve what you want. So this is in sum and substance, these two mantras have said. And having taken these two mantras, we will be going into the last two mantras. We will be seeing the importance of these mantras. What is that, because these mantras are going to tell us and all, because this is called normally it gives you the benefit, by reciting, because the entire Upanishad, by knowing, all the knowledge, we have obtained from this Upanishad, how is it going to be sort of what is the benefit which we are going to derive out of that? And we will have to understand that it is not a transactional. Just because, by learning the Upanishad, you are going to get something out of blue, it's not going to happen. If you think, you are going to get a big bonanza, that's not going to happen. You will be able to set yourself apart from what you are now. You will be able to elevate yourself several layers above, so that you will be able to see, from a bird's viewpoint, as to the whole thing, without any sort of a confounded confusion. You will be able to have a clarity, as to what you are able to see, and then you will be able to proceed. Because we are involved in ourselves, at the ground level with all the things what we are doing. That's why, because we are always We are having all the clattering of thoughts and we are not able to get the clarity out of that. To get the clarity out of the confounding confusion, the best thing for us is to elevate ourselves to see, because disassociate ourselves, into what is happening and all, but at the same time with the sea of clarity. That is dispassion. Dispassion is, you should not be able to worry about, because what if happens, if, because as you go about it, something happens, you find a way out, because if there is something is there, some obstacle is there, you find a remedial measure, because every obstacle has got a remedial measure, every remedy has got a possible obstacle that may come about that you will be able to do, because once you develop that, you will be able to carry all the obstacles without any sort of anxiety and deal with it face to face. You will be able to rather squarely face it, and you can remove whatever comes, and you will take the appropriate steps. That's what it happens when a startup, when anyone starts, they get a lot of obstacles, most of them, because if they have given up, look, because it's so going to be a cumbersome exercise, what is that, because I am going to get, I am only going to be involved in all these legal, corporate and personal issues. And because the idea is good, because the execution is going to be very difficult, in the sense, because it's not possible for you to do everything, and also you will have to have necessary resources in the sense your own ideas, and you should be able to validate your ideas appropriately. You will not be able to go with the invalid ideas and go about. You should assemble the resources required in terms of persons, or in terms of the knowledge, or in terms of equipment, or in terms of facilities or infrastructure. You should be able to assemble and go about. And what you have to, unless you have, you will not be able to do everything, because you have got a limitation. Within your limitation, you should be able to share your vision. It is only when you are able to share the vision, share the goal, and share the ideas, and when you are able to interact and get the vision, you also should be able to, you should be able to get the shared vision of others also. But if others have got a good vision, you should be able to have the receiving capacity. So you should be able to appreciate, because so that you will be able to form a sort of a whole balancing of all the resources in such a way, all of them will be optimized to get to the purpose for which you wanted and all. You will not be able to do. You can't have only your vision unless your vision is shared, or your entire purpose is shared with others, and you are also willing to be listening to others, and you will also be able to get correct yourself, because have a common vision of everyone. Then only a startup or organization can go about. This is true in every aspect of life, whether you are doing anything on your own, or whether you are part of the organization. In the organization also, unless you know the purpose of the organization as well as the vision of the organization, you also become a part of that vision, you will not be able to contribute meaningfully. If you are only going to have a transactional, in the sense, I am getting this from this organization, because then what you are going to give can't be measured. What you are going to give should be invaluable. You should not be able to think about it. In whatever be the situation, what you are going to give should be the excellent, output, irrespective of the fact whether you are working for yourself or working for someone else. If that is not there, you will not be able to get any of the benefit, because what this Upanishad has taught so far. And in the sense, you will not be able to have a cluttering the mind, because you will be dispassionate when you take out the transactional aspect of anything that you are dealing with, be it is your relationship or be it your official atmosphere, when you are part of the organization, whether you are doing something and you are employing a lot of people, when you are dispassionate, you should be able to do. But when you are dispassionate, you should be able to appreciate, because whatever, because the issues that is come about, whether the personal or the financial or the public, because you should be able to, you will not be able to give a solution unless you have the appreciation. But once you appreciate it, you will not be only appreciating, you will also find a means how to find out. So you will find a common solution, and you will, if you have a solution, you will share it with others, you will validate it. It's a continuous process. So this will happen only when you are able to give and receive everything, because what you have and receive, whatever comes in the way, because when the ideas come from others, the solution comes from others, it is not only the others are giving it, the universe is making to give them the solution to you, and universe is making to share your solution with others and your ideas with others, so that all of us can prosper, because this is the idea behind that. For that, the most important thing is we should not have any ego. Unless we are able to dismantle the ego and keep it, because ego is the one, when you try to attach yourself for every action, as well as everything comes out of that action. If something comes good, because you think, it's because of me it has come. If something happens bad, I think, why it happens to me, or you will try to find the blame with you will try to blame someone else because of that, it happens. Because when ego proven you go, if you are going on messaging your ego, you will not be able to give up the ego. Is the message the what we have got, from the mantra number 14 and 15. If this ego is the big fundamental block which prevents us from doing anything. So when you are giving up the ego, what happens is you are able to see all your problems of yours, because as something, which others have also faced. So others have also found a solution. You will also find. Likewise, others' problem also you will see. Yes, you will try to sincerely try to attempt and to make a solution. When you are collective network, because when you are able to do like this, and because you will also be able to share the benefit with others, as well as share the concern of others, and you will also be able to share the possibilities with others. This is a continuous journey. In this journey, we have seen, because very briefly, in this talk, because of the want of time, we have gone about very, but we will be seeing, the more with the other scriptures and whatever, that has come about in the last two mantras, as well as the forthcoming two mantras. And as well, we will also be seeing the synopsis and what is the essence of the first three chapters, the first adhyaya of Kathopanishad, which is going to be in a very, very important sort of a learning for us the next week. And with that, we will be closing our the first adhyaya of Kathopanishad. And the first adhyaya Kathopanishad has given us all the inputs, all the basic, sort of requirements, equipped us with ourselves go about into the great journey. But the great journey, how we are going to go about, and what are all, because the things which we will be facing, not only in the physical body. When we talk about subtle mind and subtle body also, we will be having certain issues that will be coming about, because we will not be able to imagine what is the subtle body and subtle mind. So those things will also have to be dealt with. We will be dealing with them with the tools that has been given by this Upanishad, as well as, the Bhagavad Gita has given us quite a bit of tools, and in consonance with both of them, we will syncing together. We will be trying to find a solution. How to finally we will be getting into the glorious journey that is going to come about in the second adhyaya of Kathopanishad. Second adhyaya of Kathopanishad, it is going to be more philosophical, as well as, it is going to be more in fact, it is the everlasting, the happiness will be coming once we understood the port of that. So it is going to be enchanting journey, because you will be finding, because there are so many things, which we have assumed, how the Upanishad breaks down, it smashes everything, what we had it as a sort of, the wrong notions what we had, that will also be thrashed, and what the right ideas we should have, that will be brought in. Of course, they will be brought in with paradox. They will be there. There are so many things, you will not be able to logically conclude why it is happening. So why the Upanishad says or the Gita says and all. This will be more to be experienced than to be expressed. Every time you read a Gita, every time you read a Upanishad, what your understanding goes several layers higher. It opens up, because our ignorance is layer after layer. So removing the ignorance, because that is where, because we are into it. Because we don't know we have an ignorance. When you are living in this world, we are not aware we have an ignorance. Now the Upanishad has brought us slowly into the realm to know that we have ignorance that is to be removed. and it is slowly removing one layer after the other. The further layers will also be removed in the second chapter of Kathopanishad. Not only that, it will expose us to the highest possibilities which physical level, subtle level, and emotional level we can reach. That is what the highest purpose of the human being in this world to achieve that. This is what all the religions have embarked upon. All the religions have emphasized the same thing, and we will be seeing next week. With this, we will be concluding today's talk. Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Punaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvina Vadidamastuma Vishvidavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.